In the news tonight, Anambra State Health Insurance Scheme commences in full force with the enrollment of state civil servants. A clothing line to employ over 120 employees opens in Awka. As organized labor begins nationwide strike midnight, indications show more states ready to move beyond federal government minimum wage benchmark. And on the foreign scene, Taliban militants capture major Afghan city security posts. Good evening and thanks for joining us on ABS Television News. I am Franklin Onyekachi. Now the news in details. The Anambra State Health Insurance Agency has commenced the enrollment and registration of Anambra and other residents of the state into the state health insurance scheme. The exercise kicked off with the enrollment of the state civil servants at the Jerome Udoji Secretariat, Awka. Health correspondent Chibuzo Koye completes this story.
Exercise, the State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Joe Akabike, said that the idea behind the scheme is to solve the out-of-pocket expenses in treatment of illnesses by Anambra and other residents of the state who have been enrolled into the system. Dr. Akabike, who noted that the Willie Obiano administration understands the hassles behind health financing, hence the birth of the State Health Insurance Agency by his government.
The greatest challenge we have is what we call health financing. You know, when people are sick, they first of all think of money. And most often, particularly in this environment, people do not save for their health. And that was what informed His Excellency to think of this scheme that will, solve the problem of out-of-pocket expenses once and for all.
The state head of service, Mr. Hariodo, commended the exercise after he has been enrolled and revealed that they have communicated to every ministry and agency to make the exercise hitch-free, and praised Governor Willie Obiano for initiating the scheme.
It's a good thing coming to us, and we must give kudos to His Excellency, Chief Willie Obiano. He's always attracting the best of the best for us, and we are very, very grateful. For little or nothing, people are going to be treated in this state.
According to the Executive Secretary, Anambra State Health Insurance Agency, Dr. Simeon Onyemechi, the registration kicked off with the civil servants in the state and will last for 6 weeks, after which they will commence registration of every resident of the state who has paid the 12,000 Naira yearly premium at their state office opposite Government House, Awka.
I've commenced the registration of Anambra into the Anambra State Health Insurance Scheme, a noble initiative of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Anambra State, Chief Willie Obiano Bokodike Global. The initiative he has graciously brought to ensure that Anambra do not have to spend out of pocket so much money to seek health care.
The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Basic Education, Mr. Linus Nwankwo, equally showered encomiums on Governor Obiano for the success of the scheme. All the enrollees will have a 1-month waiting period before they start enjoying their packaged health benefits that are covered under the scheme. In Awka, it's been Chibuzo Okoye for ABS News.
IFAD VCDP 6 supervision mission commences in Anambra soon. Preparations are in top gear for the IFAD Value Chain Development Program 6 supervision mission to the state. The state program coordinator, IFAD VCDP, Mr. Anambra, announced this during a one-day training on basic functions of Water Users Association held at the conference hall of the ADP in Awka. Agri correspondent Ebeleze covered the training and now reports.
According to Mr. Agwuncha, the exercise was aimed at assessing the degree of impact of the program on the beneficiaries in the 5 participating council areas. Water Users Associations are state-based farmers who pooled their financial, technical, material, and human resources for the operation and maintenance of water facilities provided for them by the IFAD VCDP. Mr. Agwuncha, represented by the irrigation engineer, Engineer Martin Sugochukwu, charged them to ensure rational and economic water use, reduce non-productive losses, prevent soil and water logging, and most importantly, control soil erosion. He appealed to them to ensure that all the facilities in the 5 participating council areas are working effectively under conducive environment to pave way for more approvals for projects during the mission.
Been done long before now. Maybe to one reason or the other, we are starting it late, but better to late than never. So it's a very serious training because we have seen a lot of things in some of these infrastructure that have been provided, especially in our boreholes.
The IFAD VCDP liaison officer for Anambra West Council area, Mr. Rufus Imoka, who said the borehole that was sunk by IFAD VCDP in Umezanam was submerged by the receding flood, announced that they have commenced revitalization process through flushing of the pipes, assuring that it will soon be functional again.
Anambra West has faced with the restriction of flood. This kind of flood came in 2012. So unexpectedly, the flood repeated this year. But in fact, it caused a lot of damage. In that water borehole closed, though the water borehole was submerged.
In a paper titled Management of Group Enterprises, a resource person, Mr. Joseph Onoa, asked them to take full ownership of the facilities and see to their general operations and regular maintenance of all the facilities cited in their communities. Some of the participants, including the chairman of Umbaku Water Users Association, Mr. Chukwualoka Onwuzulebo, and the treasurer of Ufuma Water Users Association, Mrs. Helen Edonna, in their separate speeches testified that the water facility have helped in nipping to the bud scarcity of potable water, while the proceeds from it serve as loan to members and non-members.
At least for the next 20 years,
in Oka, Ebele Eze reporting for ABS News.
Mixed reactions have continued to trail sand excavation at the Ogodo River Beach in Urumba North local government area. The excavation, which led to a protest by the women of Oko community a few days ago, met with a counter-peaceful demonstration by the people of Ihengu village in Oko community. Correspondent Valentine Badoga reports.
While speaking during the demonstration within Oko and environs, the chairman of Ihengu village Oko, Mr. Peter Okoli, described the people of Ihengu as peace-loving and progress-minded. He noted that the action taken by the President General and woman leader of the community against the village was a smokescreen aimed at diverting attention from the main issue. Mr. Okoli narrowed the problem to bad leadership and neglect of certain sections of the community, regretting that their village is on the verge of total collapse as most of the roads are no longer accessible. He then called on government to come into the matter to get it solved once and for all, suggesting dialogue as the best option.
No, onwe ife ha na agitate ha na complain ka anyị nọdụ n'ofu ogologo oche nke a na-akpọ dialogue ka enwee dialogue ka ekwuo ife dị otu a anyị ekwuo our own part na ebe esi emegide anyị eme ya address udo adị n'oko.
Contributing, the youth leader of Ihengu village, Mr. Arinze Anyalobu, assured of full compliance to the resolution on the sand excavation in the area, noting that the interest of the people is their greatest concern. Mr. Anyalobu encouraged all indigenes of Oko to remain patriotic for the development of Oko and Urumba North local government area at large.
Anyị mechiri ikpe aja for 3 good years ka e wee lụọla anyị mbuze emelo ya and mbuze na-agba ma be anyị na obodo dị iche iche na-ekpo dị aja ama ọkpara na-ekpe aja na nka na-ekpe aja ọbụ na-ekpe aja ndị ike na-ekpe aja anyị na-ayọ ọbụ na achọrọ imechi esi na aja na-agba mbuze si mechie nta ha Olumba North ebe niile a na-ekpe aja onye ọbụla na onwere onye dị against that na ihe anyị dị against bụ kedu ka ị ga-esi mechie ebe anyị be ndị ọzọ a na-alụ ọrụ ọ kwụsịrị mbuze.
From Oko in Urumba North local government area, Valentine Mbaduwa reporting for ABS News.
A multi-brand clothes designer's home has been set up in Oka in what could be described as an answer to the increasing calls for growth in local investments. St. Frankier's Designers, a privately owned clothing production outfit, will also look to bridge the gap between unemployment and youth development and solidifies the Akulono mantra of the present administration. Correspondent Daniel Ezigwe was at the opening of the firm and now reports.
Price, which could employ between 60 and 120 persons, is a first of its kind fashion business set up within manufacturing lines ranging from male and female apparel, including denim jeans, shirts and jackets, underwears, t-shirts and gowns, amongst other outfits. The managing director and chief executive officer of the firm, Chief Udoka Ezechukwu, who noted that the fashion design firm was established not just to offer effective service to Anambra, but to also alleviate the sufferings of buyers who go to faraway places to spend hugely to import wares from other parts of Nigeria and outside the country. He said the business was effectively developed to solve multiple customer needs, including online sales, and charged business persons to invest in ventures that will produce long-term solutions to many societal cravings. A fashion enthusiast and one of the designers at the firm, Dr. Chinyere Mojeku, who said she gave up on her medical profession because of a developed passion for fashion, said the new fashion firm would add substantially to the development of large-scale clothes production in this side of the country.
I'm actually a medical doctor, but I had to drop it because I love fashion. And I have a great passion for this. And thank God it's a reality. Today it is St. Frankie's.
Another fashion lover, Mrs. Onyinye Uzuchukwu, said the production menu of St. Frankie's designers were unique, given its multi-brand focus, expressing belief in the firm's long-term vision. Mr. Barry Ohalete, another of the company's stakeholders, said it would work to partner with the state government in different strategic business areas like product expansion and direct sales, and applauded the distinctiveness of the firm to modern business setup.
Yeah, fashion is all about fixing myself before people, and with this one now, I have to add it into what I have. It's a new one.
There was also a tour of the firm by the invited guests, as well as live musical performances, which added color to the occasion. In Oka, Daniel Ezigwe, reporting for ABS News.
The Dean, Faculty of Clinical Sciences, University of Ibadan, Professor Muyiwa Owolabi, says stroke is the second highest killer disease in the world. Professor Muyiwa made the disclosure at the first Stroke Risk Assessment Symposium organized by the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Health in collaboration with Stroke Investigative Research Network and Blossom Center for Neurorehabilitation at Aguleri, Anambra East Local Government Area. Chibuzo Koe has the details.
Delivering a lecture during the event, Professor Muyiwa, represented by Dr. Kinsley Nwankwo from the Stroke Council Nigeria, said that high blood pressure, too much intake of alcohol and salt, stress, obesity, depression, among others, can lead to stroke, and advised that people must avoid all the risk factors that can lead to stroke. The university don who revealed that statistics have shown that 1 in every adult above the age of 25 years is hypertensive, harped on the need for regular checkup, eating of balanced diet, as well as regular exercise to run away from risk factors of stroke, and noted that stroke, if detected early, could be managed.
High blood pressure, high sugar, diabetes, abnormal cholesterol, dyslipidemia, cigar, other exercise.
The senior special assistant to the governor on health, Kate Edozie, in a welcome address explained that the symposium was equally organized to mark the 5th anniversary of the United Anambra Youth Assembly and Ebelechukwu Obiano Ladies Movement. She noted that a health risk assessment is a powerful screening tool, which is often the first step to any medical diagnosis, implemented in order to gain a clear understanding of the population's health status and risks, so that those risk assessments can motivate the individual to identify point of risk exposure and adopt healthier lifestyle.
What is happening here today is the first stroke risk assessment symposium in Nigeria, where there is massive screening of people for risk factors.
In a goodwill message, a former special advisor to the governor on political matters, who is the founder of the United Anambra Youth Assembly, as well as the general overseer of the Ebelechukwu Obiano Ladies Movement, Chief Chinedu Obidigwe, called on the citizenry to take good care of their health at all times, as there is no alternative to a sound body and soul.
On several occasions, on a daily basis, people do call me. We are at the hospital, we are this, my husband, dad, myself, my wife, and the other about. It wasn't easy for me. So I think taking this part will help to ameliorate the sufferings I'm going through.
Participants at the symposium underwent free stroke checks and counseling. The first Stroke Risk Assessment Symposium in commemoration of the World Stroke Day has its theme as Sustaining Good Health and Well-Being, Sustainable Development Goal 3 by creating awareness on stroke. From Aguleri in Anambra East Local Government Area, it's been Chibuzo Okoye for ABS News.
You are watching ABS Television News. We'll take a break. The news returns in a moment. Do stay with us.
The public service announcement. The Special Reconciliation Committee, headed by Dr. Uju Okeke as chairman and Barrister Ifatu Obiokoye as secretary, set up at the instance of the national leader and chairman of the Board of Trustees, His Excellency Chief Dr. Willie Obiano, to look into critical complaints arising from the recently concluded party primaries of ABGA as it relates to Anambra State, has therefore scheduled to meet all aggrieved aspirants and other critical stakeholders in the order hereinafter stated as follows. Monday, the 5th day of November 2018, the Reconciliation Committee shall be meeting with the State Executive Committee of ABGA. Venue is the Party Secretariat, Oka, time 2 p.m. prompt. Tuesday, 6th day of November 2018, the Reconciliation Committee shall be meeting with all aggrieved aspirants in Anambra State. Venue, Governorship Campaign Office along Oka Enugu Express Road, time 10 a.m. Wednesday, 7th day of November 2018, the Reconciliation Committee is meeting with all aggrieved aspirants in Anambra State continues. Venue is Governorship Campaign Office along Oka Enugu Express Road, time 10 a.m. prompt. Thursday, 8th day of November 2018, meetings with all aggrieved aspirants concluded. Venue, Governorship Campaign Office along Oka Enugu Express Road, time 10 a.m. prompt. Friday, 9th day of November 2018, the Reconciliation Committee shall be meeting with all elected candidates of the party. Venue, Governorship Campaign Office along Oka Enugu Express Road, time 10 a.m. prompt. Monday, 12th day of November 2018, the Reconciliation Committee shall be meeting with all political appointees in the government of Anambra State, namely commissioners, special advisors, heads and members of statutory and non-statutory agencies and parastatals of government, senior special assistants, SSAs, special assistants, SAs, and executive assistants, EAs, including chairmen and members of Transition Committee in the 21 local government areas. Tuesday, 13th November to Thursday, 15th November 2018, 3 days, private visit of Reconciliation Committee to selected stakeholders and party leaders. Friday, 16th day of November 2018, Reconciliation Committee meets to consider the final report. Saturday, 17th day of November 2018, submission of final report to His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Anambra State. The Reconciliation Committee therefore enjoins all affected persons to cooperate with the committee in the general interest and well-being of our great party. God bless you all. Announcer, Barrister Ifatu Obiokoye, SPAD, Secretary, Reconciliation Committee.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. The National Industrial Court of Nigeria in Abuja today rejected a request for a fresh order stopping the organized labor from embarking on its planned indefinite strike scheduled to commence tomorrow. The court, presided over by Justice Sanusi Kado, also refused to grant a prayer for an order to compel the government to immediately commence the process of adopting 30,000 naira as the new national minimum wage. Justice Kado said it would be unnecessary to make another order stopping labor from embarking on the planned strike, having earlier made a similar one in a case brought to the court by the federal government last Friday. The federal government had filed issues following the threats by the organized labor, comprising the National Labour Congress, the Trade Union Congress, and the United Labour Congress, to embark on strike if its demands for an increase in the national minimum wage from 18,000 naira to 30,000 naira was not met. Contrary to the labor's demand, the federal government said it will only pay 24,000 naira as minimum wage, and the state governors under the aegis of the Nigeria Governors Forum has stuck to 22,500 naira. The lingering dispute between government and the labor prompted the federal government to seek and obtain the court order stopping the strike last Friday. Meanwhile, ahead of midnight commencement of nationwide strike action by the organized labor, student efforts by the federal government to stave off nationwide strike by organized labor appears to have hit the brick wall following a startling revelation by the Nigeria Labour Congress today that no fewer than 10 states had offered to pay more than 24,000 naira minimum wage suggested by the government. It will be recalled that the organized labor on Sunday shunned a final rapprochement meeting with the federal government to adopt a new minimum wage of 24,000 naira agreed by the federal government. The NLC had said it will not attend any fresh negotiation with the government-led tripartite team, having negotiated and adopted 30,000 naira as the new minimum wage for Nigerian workers. Mr. Uche Ekwe, head of international relations of the NLC, told newsmen today that they have concluded all matters related to new national minimum wage, and if the politicians are unwilling to pay that basic minimum but continue to connive and work against the interests of the Nigerian workers, they should hold themselves accountable for that and leave them out of any meaningless meeting. Mr. Wisdom Obidike, a 400-level student of Economics Department of the Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, has won a brand new Panasonic microwave for correctly answering a Bible quiz question on ABS phone-in program, Gospel Trivial. Ogochukwu Okeke has a report.
The prize was presented to Mr. Obidike by the uncle of the program, Ify Onachukwu, in company of her co-presenter, Neke Ekwunife. Presenting the gift, Mrs. Onachukwu noted that the gift was sponsored by the traditional ruler of Aguleri in Anambra East Council area, Igwe Christopher Idigo, an ardent listener of the program, which comes on air every Sunday between 8:15 and 9 o'clock in the morning. She said that the essence of the program was to propagate the gospel of Jesus Christ and also to encourage the youth to align themselves with the things of God by consistently reading the Bible, adding that people who want to join or sponsor the program should call 0803-957-4516, 0803-957-4516 for inquiries.
Train our youth to know, the word of God. But can also say they make a restive youth, making destructive. Let's get them busy. Yeah, that's it. So
Mrs. Ekwunife, who co-presented the gift to the winner, on behalf of the staff and management of the ABS, lauded the sponsor of the program, Igwe Idigo, who has been supporting the program to motivate youths and challenge them to make God their priority by reading the Word of God and meditating on it always.
On behalf of the management and staff of the Anambra Broadcasting Service, and most importantly, Igwe Christopher Igwe Aguleri, thank you so much for making this happen. And in the first instance, all glory must go to God. Yeah.
Receiving the gift, Mr. Obidike, who was overwhelmed with joy for the prize won, stated that the gift will inspire him to study the Bible more and to practice the teachings. Thanked Igwe Idigo for his kind gesture, urging youth to join the program as, according to him, it educates and transforms lives.
It's not just something I started in a day. Just a knowledge I had through continuous study of the Word, of the Bible. That was why I was able to get the answers to most of the questions.
In Awka, Ogochukwu Okeke reporting for ABS News.
And now on the foreign scene, Taliban militants has captured an important security post outside the central Afghan city of Ghazni today, killing 13 members of government forces and underscoring their vulnerability even in areas where defenses have been bolstered. The post was part of a belt of strongholds built around Ghazni, which is on the main road between the capital, Kabul, and the Afghan south, after the city was briefly overrun by Taliban in August in one of their biggest offensives in years. As well as the 13 killed, 13 members of the Western-backed government security forces were wounded in the attack, said Arif Nori, a spokesman for the provincial governor. He said the Taliban has suffered heavy casualties, but he had no exact information. Taliban spokesman Zabihullah Mujahid said in a statement that 18 policemen were killed and 6 wounded, and large quantities of weapons and ammunition were seized. The attack is only the latest indication of the precarious security around Ghazni following the big Taliban assault in August, which shocked the government and was only repelled with the help of U.S. airstrikes and special force troops. A U.S. watchdog agency said last week the Afghan government was struggling to recover control of districts lost to the Taliban, while casualties among security forces had reached record levels. And in the world of sports, a Nigerian striker, Ekundayo Ebenezer Mawoyeka, has reportedly died of heart attack during a match between his club, Koyspor, and Koyspor yesterday in Turkey. According to Euronews, Mawoyeka, 23, slumped in the 35th minute of play at the Savagazi Stadium. It was reported that Mawoyeka was rushed to the hospital in an ambulance, but he died en route. First responders said that the Nigerian striker died of heart attack. His death led to the postponement of the match. The Nizhly Amateur Sports Club Federation President Feyyaz Sazin, in a statement, described Mawoyeka's death as sad. And that report concludes our news bulletin for tonight. But remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by logging on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. Like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/ABSRadioTelevision. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ABS Radio TV. And now the main points again. Anambra Health Insurance Scheme has commenced in full force with enrollment of state civil servants. A clothing line that is to employ over 120 employees has opened in Oka. As organized labor begins nationwide strike midnight, indications show more states are ready to move beyond federal government minimum wage benchmark. And on the foreign scene, we told you that Taliban militants have captured major Afghan city security posts. And that's the news. Thanks for watching. I am Franklin Onyekachi. Good night.